Hello, this is Daisy at Adventure Acres in northwest rural Iowa. Or rural northwest Iowa? However you like it. That's okay, I should start with the disclaimer. I am a writer by profession. I am a trained newspaper journalist. I am more accustomed to doing research and hiding behind words on a computer. And I'm also really digging this rocking chair if it's too surreal for you. Sorry about that. I'll try not to make you need Dramamine. Anyway, as I was saying, I am typically a writer. I have a Facebook page called Adventure Acres. And I am much more accustomed to typing than I am expressing myself with words. As many of you who follow my page know, I was diagnosed in 2015 with multiple sclerosis, relapsing remitting. And so the brain connection between my brain and my fingertips when I'm typing is still very strong. But there was some damage when it comes to my brain and the ability to remember and speak certain words or phrases, or sometimes I have a difficult time recalling to memory what it is or formulating in thought two words. So this is really putting myself out there and stretching myself, but as my page indicates, I'm always up for a good adventure, and so see how it goes. Anyway, I thought it would be a good idea to do an introductory video, like a short little howdy do, and this is who I am and what we're doing here. We live on my husband's family farmstead. It's been in his farm for 6 generations. My children would be the 7th generation to be connected with this farm. So there's a lot of really cool family history. When we were moving here and we were doing the house swap with my mother-in-law, we found so many neat things. I'm actually in a room right now that sort of serves as our family museum. We have all sorts of cool family artifacts here. And so heritage and history are, family lineage and legacy are important to us. So we talk about that a lot. There are 2 acres with the homestead here, and there's a plot of land here and a plot of land further down the road that are rented out. And on our 2 acres, there's a lot of really savvy things that have been set up. There's a small orchard, there's a mulberry grove, a honeysuckle grove, and an elderberry grove that's popped up over the past decade or so. A lot of wildcrafting, foraging opportunities here. We moved here in 2014 after a lot of wild adventures. My husband is a Navy veteran. He was in the Navy for 8 years. We got married 16 years ago this year. And we had been best friends for a very long time before that, years and years. And he was in the Navy when we got married. So we've lived in San Diego and Japan. We lived in Yokosuka, Japan for almost 4 years. That's where my oldest daughter was born. We moved back in 2006, and we adopted our second child from foster care. And then, a few more years passed, and we had our third child, who was, we'd planned on having a third child, but he was early. My husband was still in college. He has a master's degree from ISU. Woo! Don't hold it against me, Hawkeye fans. I love everybody. Anyway, we have a lot of really wild adventure history and experiences, life experiences. I think we have a lot of stories that we share. You know, I've had people kind of ask me what my page is about. You know, is it an educational homesteading page? Is it the how-to page? And I kind of feel like my page is more of a sit down and I'll spin you a yarn. Kind of, I'm the storyteller, and I'm the encourager, and I'm the person who's explaining how it's going for me as a beginner. I'm not an expert on many things, so I can say with confidence that I like to bring people along for the experience. And I know when I first found YouTube channels and Facebook pages and things like that, I was so fascinated, especially by the pages of people who were just starting off. Like, they were just figuring things out, and they were so honest about how it went. And I thought, you know, I see all these perfect, you know, homesteader people who are telling me how to do everything, and then there's the people who are like, I'm totally lost. I don't know what a flippity flopping thing about what I'm doing here. They're chasing sheep through the yard and losing, you know, lids for their canned goods when they're trying to do things, and I just love it. I love it because it's so real. And so that's what I do. I try to honor what they have sown into my life by also casting my seeds too, I guess. For lack of a better way of explaining it, that's what I like to do. We have a really great setup here. We have a small orchard and mulberry grove. I don't know if I've already explained all this. See, that's the MS. I don't remember always what I've told you or what I haven't. So I should see now. This is like the initial, hey, I'm figuring things out video. Next time I'll have like a little Cliff Notes notation version. I'll just follow the little the recipe. Follow the recipe. I like to we garden. We have the orchard. We have a flock of chickens and a flock of ducks, and my husband is really fascinatingly smart and capable. He built a run and coop set for each that we have. They're actually just right behind that wall back there somewhere. If I aim it, woo. Anyway, we have a big garden. I would like to do some raised beds. I like artisanal baking. I've learned from my mom, and she learned from her mom, and so it's a really cool, you know, heritage skill that I have, and passing it on to the next generation too. And we just have a lot of cool adventures, and we like to share our stories and invite you along. So that's the short version. I tried to keep it under 10 minutes. Trying to think if there's anything else exciting and interesting to tell you about us. One of the things that we talk about is the fact that I have multiple sclerosis and the challenges that presents in being a homesteader. It's definitely a challenge when it comes to planning and logistics, and I've had mobility issues. I've had you know, it doesn't make it easier, that's for sure. But I like to think that if people can see that I'm doing it, and I'm, you know, I figure I can do what I can while I can, and I'm gonna, you know, grab the bull by the horns and give it the best that I've got. Our faith is important to us, and we have there's a lot of things that I talk about on my page, and I want to be a source of encouragement for other people who may be struggling, because I know what that's like. And so here I am, and this is my YouTube channel. So there it is, my first video. Can subscribe below if you haven't been scared off yet, and we'll see you around. Signing off for now.